Hello, and welcome to another episode of Crush That Exam Success Stories. My name is Dr. Ayana Johnson, alumni member of Crush That Exam program. And here today we have a story of someone else who has overcome their exam. Can you first take some time to introduce yourself and tell us
Mm.
a little bit about who you are and where you're located?
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Curtesia. I am now a licensed
Woo!
psychologist out of Austin, Texas, originally from Oklahoma. I'm currently working in a private practice here in the city.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. I'm also currently a Texan, so I'm so
Yeah.
happy to be a part of your home state. Um, before, as we get started, Dr. Cortesia, can you first start by telling us what was your exam experience like prior to starting coaching?
Whew, my exam experience prior to coaching was a journey and a crazy one at that. It has officially been 9 years since I graduated with my doctorate. So I've been a psychologist for 9 years, and I had attempted that exam 5 times before I found the Crush That Exam program. I had studied on my own, utilizing a variety of different test prep companies like Psych Prep and ASPPP. I typically would study on my own. I was never like a study group type of person. So I did a lot of studying on my own, listening to audio and reading. I was never really a note taker before Crush That Exam. So that's how things had gone. On my fifth attempt, I got a 494 and it sat me down. It was so defeating. So defeating. I'm like, oh, it's right there, like right there. And by sat me down, I mean like I stopped studying, I stopped doing everything for a few years, not working. I was able to work under a special exemption, thankfully, but as far as test prep or anything of that sort, I was just like, I was over it. I was so defeated.
Yeah, yeah. I can't imagine. I'm also a multiple test taker as well, and I can understand like
Mm,
going back in over and over again can be kind of defeating. But you got
mhm.
back in there,
I
and
did.
you came to an awareness. You realized like, yeah, I need something different. And
Yeah.
so it kind of leads me into the next question. How did you find out about Erica's services, the Crush the Exam services, and what made you decide to seek exam coaching?
It was God. I always say that it was God that aligned me with Dr. Erica. I'm in the Psychologist of Color group on Yahoo, and one of the Crush That Exam testimonial videos came across the timeline. And so I read it, and then I went to the website and read about her and the program. And I'm like, hmm, if I want something different, I've got to do something different. I've got to change up everything. And so I decided to reach out, and the rest is kind of history. And that was in September of last year that I reached out.
Wow, thank God
Yeah.
for the social media platforms for for people like us to
Yes,
get connected to services like Crush That Exam. I'm so grateful that you were able to find this program and that it was supportive for you.
absolutely. It helped me to not feel alone because for 8 years, I literally felt alone. Everyone around me, everyone I went to school with, they were successfully getting through the exam. They were licensed. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I really started to think there was something wrong with me. And so to find Crush That Exam, I was like, no, there's nothing wrong with me. There are other people that this exam is just a struggle for. And it's just that, it's just the exam, not the person. So,
Absolutely. I'm so grateful
yeah,
that you came to that realization for yourself because it can be easy to kind of get stuck in that loophole, that trap of thinking
absolutely.
that we have a deficiency when this exam, you know, it just has so many other flaws to it that
Hmm.
we have to overcome.
Yes.
So, being in Crush That Exam, what are three things that you really liked about the exam coaching program?
Three things that I really liked. One was feeling like I had community, not feeling like I did have community, like having community. People that looked like me were people of color that were going through similar experiences, trying to live life, live our profession while also trying to accomplish and beat this exam. So that was very motivational for me along this journey. Um, as well as when I started with Crush That Exam, Dr. Erica had just started the group coaching calls. And so I had a small group, and that small group was very motivating for me for several months, just, doing life with people while also working to accomplish this exam. And I remember there was a moment at the beginning of me starting the process. I was also in my 300-hour yoga teacher training to become a full 500-hour teacher. And I was like, maybe this is going to be too much. And so I contemplated quitting my training. And so I talked to Dr. Erica about it. And she was like, no, I encourage you not to do that. You don't want to put so much weight on this exam. Then that's putting additional stress and pressure on yourself that you have to like accomplishes and do this certain thing. It's like too much pressure. She was like, don't stop living. Continue to do the things that you enjoy. And I'm so grateful that she told me to do that because now I am a 500-hour yoga teacher, trained yoga teacher, and a fully licensed psychologist. But
Wow.
the third thing would be the parallel study sessions. Oh my God, those things were a game changer for me. Having that accountability, because what I recognized on this journey to becoming licensed was that I am on the neurodivergent spectrum. I was fully diagnosed with ADHD, which I was in denial of for years and years beforehand. But I needed that focused time. So having like 25 on, a 5-minute break, it really kept me focused and just on the trajectory towards this exam.
Wow. Well, congratulations for
Thank you.
yoga teacher and a fully licensed psychologist on top of that. That's
Thank you.
a huge accomplishment. And you did it all around the same time frame. Like,
Yes, ma'am. All in the same time frame. I started my yoga teacher training in June of last year, and then with Dr. Erica in September of last year.
okay. So how long did you work with your coach during this program in
I
total?
In total, I was in the coaching piece of it for about 4 months. And then the last 3 months, I wasn't in coaching, but again, the parallel study sessions, those were my babies. I was in those. I basically tailored my entire 20-hour study schedule around parallel study. So if parallel study was happening, I was there most times.
Yeah, and that those parallel study sessions were a game changer for me too. It sounds like that
Yeah,
accountability really supported you and was a huge
yes,
changer through this process.
absolutely. Absolutely. Because left to my own devices, I will be sitting on that couch watching TV or scrolling social media.
And sometimes we just need that extra structure just to kind of like tell us what we need to do, when to do it, so we can get it done and live the life that we want to live. That's
Exactly.
that's awesome. What do you think was the hardest thing that you had to overcome while going through this program?
Oh, that's a big question. There were so many things. I was dealing with a lot of health um, issues while going through this program. Um, I was getting an iron infusion during one of the parallel study sessions to where Dr. Erica was like, "Do you need to be here, honey?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm good. The infusion is going automatically." And so I just continue to sit there and take my notes. So not allowing life continues to happen, right? It just continues to happen. Things continue to happen and I didn't allow those things to stop me. I held on to God's hand as I went through this entire process and just kept pushing. But I would say that the health things, and then I was going through a breakup. So dealing with grief. Again, life doesn't stop, but I couldn't stop this time.
Yeah, I truly appreciate your honesty, and just really sharing the life stuff that goes on during this process. I think
Hmm.
that's so encouraging for others out there to know that yes, you're studying for this exam. Yes, you're still preparing to become a licensed psychologist, but there are still life things that happen around us that we also
Mhm.
have to work through as we navigate this exam process on top of that. And you have just
Right.
really modeled your dedication and just really shown to be a really great example of continuing to navigate what life brings, but also pushing forward your dreams and your goals through it all.
Thank you for that. Absolutely. Have to keep going. We have to essentially practice what we preach to our clients. We encourage them to keep going and how to look at things differently. And so I really just started like, okay, you say this thing, now you got to actually do this thing.
Mhm. And we're
You
gonna
got to live it.
and you're a better psychologist because of it too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Is there anything that you wish you have done differently during this journey?
Hmm. Anything I wish I would have done differently? It's a good question. I am probably my own worst critic, like most humans. So I think I would have been a lot more gentler with myself during moments when I wasn't, because again, I started the program at the end of September and successfully passed the exam in May. And so when things weren't going according to my timeline, I could get very down on myself and beat myself up. And then I remind myself, grace, be gentle with you. If you're not able to fully focus, that's okay. Allow yourself this time to do whatever you need to do in the space, and then you can get back to it on a different day. Um, so I wish that I had started that practice earlier on because around the holidays, I was beating the heck out of myself. Like, no, I need to study. It doesn't matter that the holidays are here. I need to remain focused.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like practicing self-compassion,
Yeah,
was really huge point in not only your professional journey, but it sounds like a personal journey as well.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
awesome. What would you tell someone who is considering starting exam coaching? What would you recommend? What would you tell someone who's also considering exam coaching, such as with Crush That Exam?
Do it. Stop considering and just do it. You won't regret it. You absolutely won't. There were no bad parts to the Crush That exam. And I've never done any other exam coaching, but for Crush That exam, I can say that there were absolutely no bad parts. And there's so much grace that is extended within the community from Dr. Erica around how to really navigate this process and not put all of the pressure that we typically do when we're coming out of school because it's like you got to get licensed. If you're not licensed, then what are we doing? Type of thing. So just do it. You won't regret it. I promise.
Yeah. And then my last question for you, Dr. Curtesia, is what is something you're looking forward to or have been able to do now since you've passed the exam?
Oh my goodness, live freely. I always said that it was my freedom day, which I got from Dr. Erica. And I really do feel free. Like, yes, I was continuing to live over these last 9 years, but it's something different about being able to live without having this big monkey on your back of I should be studying or I need to be doing this because we're trying to get to a goal. Once you've hit the goal, it's like I can really see the trees. Look at that bird. Didn't even have time to really slow down to notice. So just be free, really live. I love going to concerts and traveling, so I'm doing a lot of traveling this year. I already got a lot of trips planned, so I'm excited to just be fully present and not have part of my mind elsewhere.
That's awesome. Well, I am so happy for you and so proud of you. And I know the Crush That Exam community is very proud of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate
Of
it.
course. Well, thank you again for taking the time to tell us about your amazing story. We wish you nothing but the best. We wish you success and happiness moving forward, and
Thank
be present in the moment.
you. Yes, ma'am. I receive it all and send it back.